Alright, let's get straight to the heart of the matter. Trust. You can't put a price tag on it, but it's the most valuable currency in any relationship, whether it's business or personal. Trust is the bedrock, the foundation, the capital that everything else is built on. Without it, you're dealing with emotional bankruptcy, and no relationship, whether it's with a partner, a client, or even your team, can survive without a solid foundation of trust. Let me tell you something about trust. It's not given, it's earned. Just like in the world of high finance, where investors only put their money into something they know is rock solid, people will only invest in you, emotionally, mentally, if they trust you. If they believe in your character, your integrity, and your commitment to follow through. So how do you build that kind of trust? You don't just walk into a relationship and say, "Trust me," and boom, it's done. No, trust is built through consistency, just like wealth is built through wise investments. You've got to show up, day in, day out. No exceptions. Trust is like compound interest. The more you put into it, the more it grows, and the longer you maintain it, the more powerful it becomes. But it only works if you're consistent. Here's the deal. Trust is like equity in the relationship. When you follow through on what you say, when you're reliable, when you're transparent, you're making deposits into the trust bank. But every time you break your word, every time you're inconsistent, every time you fail to deliver, you're making a withdrawal. And listen, too many withdrawals and you're in the red. You're overdrawn. You're in the danger zone where the relationship starts to collapse. Think of trust like a stock price. When trust is high, the stock's value soars. People want to invest more time, more energy, more love. But the second you let trust slip, that stock price takes a nosedive. And good luck getting investors back after a crash like that. It's possible, but it's going to take time, effort, and a lot of transparency. And that's another key point, transparency. You want to build trust? You've got to be open. You've got to be willing to put everything on the table. No hidden agendas, no secret moves. People want to feel like they're in on the deal, like they're part of the decision-making process. The moment you start operating in the shadows, making moves behind their backs, trust is gone. It's like a company cooking the books. Sooner or later, it's going to come out, and when it does, you're done. Transparency is like showing people your balance sheet. It's saying, here's where I stand, here's what I'm working with, here's what you can expect from me. And when you do that, when you open up, people feel safe. They feel like they can trust you, like they know what they're getting into. It's about managing expectations, being clear about what you can and cannot do, and following through every single time. Now let's talk about something else. Honesty. Brutal, unfiltered, straight to the point honesty. In the world of relationships, honesty is your dividend. It's what you give back in return for someone's investment in you. But it's not always easy, is it? Sometimes honesty means having tough conversations, making difficult choices, facing things you'd rather avoid. But guess what? Those tough conversations, they're where trust is built. You don't build trust when everything is smooth sailing. You build trust when things get hard, when you have to face the challenges head on, when you have to be real about the situation. Honesty is about being willing to say the things that need to be said, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about being willing to own up to your mistakes, because here's the truth. Everyone screws up. Everyone. But what separates the people who build lasting relationships from the ones who fail is their ability to own their mistakes, to take responsibility. When you own up, when you admit where you went wrong and make a commitment to fix it, people respect that. They see you as someone they can count on because they know you're not hiding anything. And respect, that's the cornerstone of trust. You want to build trust in relationships? You've got to be accountable. And accountability is more than just saying, "my bad." It's about taking real, tangible action to make things right. It's like fixing a broken business deal. You don't just apologize to the investors. You come up with a new strategy. You make moves that show you're serious about turning things around. The same applies to relationships. If you've messed up, you don't just apologize and move on. You show, through your actions, that you're willing to do what it takes to fix things, to rebuild that trust. Now let's talk about one of the biggest trust killers, false promises. You want to blow up a relationship? Start making promises you can't keep. It's like over-leveraging in the financial world. You stretch yourself too thin, promising returns you know you can't deliver, and when it all falls apart, boom, trust is gone. Don't make promises just to make someone feel good in the moment. Be real. Be honest about what you can actually deliver. Because trust isn't about making someone feel good. It's about being dependable, being reliable, being the person who delivers results every single time. Let me give it to you straight. Trust is your reputation. It's the brand you're building, whether you're dealing with your partner, your colleagues, or your clients. And like any brand, it's built over time, but it can be destroyed in an instant. You can spend years building trust, but one careless move, one broken promise, and all that hard work goes down the drain. So every single move you make, every single decision needs to be in line with maintaining and growing that trust. You don't take shortcuts. You don't try to game the system. You do the right thing every time, because in the long run, that's what pays off. Now here's the flip side. Trust goes both ways. You can't just expect people to trust you if you don't trust them. Trust is a two-way street. It's a mutual exchange. It's like any deal. You put in, they put in, and both parties benefit. So if you want to build trust, you've got to be willing to trust others. You've got to give them the opportunity to prove themselves, to show that they're capable, that they're worthy of your trust. But here's the tricky part. Trust but verify. That's right. You don't just blindly trust anyone. You trust, but you keep your eyes open. You make sure they're delivering on their promises. You make sure they're staying accountable. It's like investing in a company. You trust the CEO, but you're still checking the quarterly reports to make sure they're on track. You're still watching for signs of instability. Because trust doesn't mean being naive. It means being smart, being aware, and making sure the people you're in a relationship with are holding up their end of the bargain. So how do you build trust in relationships? You stay consistent. You stay honest. You stay transparent. You own your mistakes. You hold yourself and others accountable. And you don't make promises you can't keep. You treat trust like the currency that it is, because without it, you've got nothing. Here's the bottom line. Trust is everything. You want a relationship to last? You build trust. You want people to follow you, to believe in you, to invest in you? You build trust. And once you've built it, you protect it like your most valuable asset. Because that's what it is. Trust is the foundation of every great relationship. And if you can master the art of building and maintaining trust, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Not just in business, but in life. So go out there. Build your trust. Protect your trust. And watch as your relationships, your connections, and your life soar to levels you never thought possible. Trust me. You've got this.